Good morning, guys. How are you? How's it going? All right, so today is gonna be kind of like a gray day. I think today we can expect some uh, some really good things to happen, right? Because it's Thursday and because we got some good liquidity in the market. The bad thing, the downside is the news, right? So we gotta take a look at the news and see what's gonna happen today and see if it's gonna be good enough for us to open positions without being worried about what's going to happen, which isn't the case actually. So from here, based on this, we're going to have some big news within 30 minutes, and then we're going to have more news with the Euro USD, and then we're going to have more news with the pound, right? Now all of these news are going to affect, the currencies or pairs, and that's why we got to be very careful about what we do during those news, all right? So this is the first week of the month, and we gotta be very careful about what we do or what we don't do. All right? Okay, so for example, let's take a look here. Let's go. I think we're gonna make sure that we go through an analysis, something like this, right? Let's do that, something like that. Three, four, five, six, seven, 8 pairs. I don't know if I wanna go through a whole analysis for Euro JPY. Oh, this was very clear. It was a very clear entry point. Well, later on we're gonna discuss this entry right there. Okay, so let's take a look at Euro USD and see what's going on. The idea is for us to make an analysis and see if there is a good opportunity for us in the market today and make some money, right? So most of trading is about money, but it's not about money at the same time. I mean, it's about money, but you can't take it as that, right? I mean, if we are doing this, it's because we want to make money. But if we take a look at trading only as, as a way to make money, and if we're only, worried about making money, that's not gonna happen. Okay, we're not gonna make any money. That's the truth about this, right? So, take a look at this chart. This is Euro USD in the 30-minute time frame, and the most immediate price action is telling us that the price is just dropping, right? Look at the strength of this push to the downside, and this is a previous support. So that's why the market is reacting to that support, right? Let's use these drawing tools. All right, so this is the previous support, and now the price is reacting to it, right? But look at the strength of this push to the downside. Now, this push to the downside in this time frame, it's gonna look like an incredible and a strong momentum candle in higher time frames, right? Just pushing all the way down. So from here, I can expect a couple of things. The first one is just a pullback in correction for the sellers to grab more liquidity and go all the way down, right? Taking all these profits, right? Or just an immediate breakout from here, right? To keep shorting. So of course my bias is bearish in here. So what I think that the most likely scenario to happen is the first one, right? So the price creating this pullback, this motion, this corrective motion, all the way up, respecting this previous support, becoming a new resistance, and then, the sellers pushing the price all the way down again. That's what I'm waiting for. That's the in my based on my experience, this is the most likely scenario to happen. All right. So I would be looking for this. This is what I'm gonna be waiting for. All right. So let's go through the top-down analysis and see if this is actually, accurate. Okay. First of all, let's go to the daily time frame and look at that. Look at today's candle. So this push to the downside, I mean this current candle, the candle of today, was called, days before. With this previous bearish engulfing candle, we knew that that was going to happen. With these two bearish engulfing candles, we knew that was going to happen. And since this day, since October 21st, I've been talking about this. I've been talking about how this push to the downside was going to happen because of the strength of this descending trend, right? Because all of these, bearish candles. Look at this is a pin bar rejecting higher prices. This is a bearish engulfing candle, and this is another stronger bearish engulfing candle, and they are happening, at the end of this little push to the upside, right? So when we had this consolidation period plus, selling confirmations, we knew that this push to the downside was going to happen, right? So this push to the upside, this is strong candle, that wasn't supposed to happen, and it happened only because of the news, right? So this candle happened only because of the news, right? So the news caused this push to the upside. Look, but then we had this reaction to this previous level, and then the correction of this, movement caused by the news, and the price just dropped all the way down, right? After this bearish engulfing candle was provided, it was clear that the price was just going to keep dropping. We didn't know how big this retracement was going to be, but if we take a look at the Fibonacci tool here, look, the retracement happened at 50% of the body of this bearish engulfing candle, right? So the price dropped all the way down from this top to here, and then the price retraced all the way up to 50% of that movement, and now it's dropping all the way down again. All right. Okay, so this candle, this bearish candle, is the one that I'm talking about, in the lower time frame. In the 30-minute time frame, we take a look at a bunch of 30-minute candlesticks, right? Falling, right? All of them are melting. And in the higher time frames, it looks like that, like a huge or a couple of huge bearish candles, right? Look at this one. So from here, look at this chart. What would you expect to happen in this chart? So from here, I see more of a sideways movement. However, I see strong bearish momentum, right? Strong selling pressure here, and that's why I would be looking for sells, right? But from this time frame, I wouldn't be looking for, a massive opportunity. I don't see anything very clear right now. Doesn't seem so clear. I do have, we can see, look, let me show you guys. We can see how the price is reacting to some levels, some specific levels, and it's respecting those levels as if they were, sacred. Let me show you. Just look at this one, for example, right? So that was a strong resistance, support here, right? Support here, right? And the price is respecting that level. This is another one, right? Which is coming actually from before, right? This was just a false breakout above that resistance, right? There's resistance here, here, support, resistance, right? The price, got closer to it and came all the way down again. And now we have the support as well. So those are very important levels, right? And the price is just navigating between those levels, right? The price is just navigating between those levels. So for example, take a look at this. This is the motion of the price, right? That's the real motion. Can you see how it navigates between those levels? It really respects those levels, which is great. I mean, that's wonderful because we know that every time that the price is going to touch those levels, there is going to be a reaction. And with that reaction, we make money. So this is, for example, the 4-hour time frame. But if I know that the price is going to get closer to this level, when it touches that level, and then I go to the 30-minute time frame, I will be looking for sales. I will be looking for that reaction to that level, and that reaction to the downside it represents a take profit for me. Does it make sense? If you guys have questions, let me know. All right, I'm just talking here, and I just want to make sure that you guys are getting what I'm talking about. Okay, so from here, I would be looking for buys and then I would be waiting to join the same sellers. I mean, if the sellers were able to push the price all the way down, right? Now let me erase this. I don't want to erase all of them, right? Now look at those. Those are my levels, right? Very important levels. Now, do you remember how when we were taking a look at the daily time frame? Take a look here. When we were taking a look at the daily time frame, I was talking about how the price was gonna drop, and now I mean the price reached 50% of the previous, candle, and this movement here represents 50% of that strong candle to the downside. Okay, so my bias from the daily time frame is bearish. Okay, my bias is bearish from the daily time frame. So that means that now that I'm in the 4-hour time frame, I have to take a look at this time frame and say, okay, if my bias from the daily time frame is bearish, how does it look like in this time frame? Is it just gonna drop? It's just gonna have a pullback to the upside? What am I looking for, right? And then if the market validates my analysis, then I will open a position either to the upside or the downside. All right. So from here, my bias is bearish, so I'm expecting a breakout to the downside. Okay, that's what I'm expecting. All right. So from here, the price, I mean the sellers, they need to grab some liquidity before pushing the price all the way down and making those profits. Okay. So with that push to the upside, or me knowing that there is going to be a pullback, I'm not looking for sales now. We are at a low, so we don't sell lows. We only sell highs. So for example, this is a higher high, well a higher low actually. Look, higher low, right? And this would be the next, sorry, lower high. That would be the next lower high. And then I will be willing to sell Euro USD, all right? Or if we get this breakout, to the downside in a correction in pullback, then I will be waiting to join those sellers up here. All right? Makes sense? Okay. So in other words, conclusion, I'm looking for sales, right? So as long as I have a very clean and clear selling signal, I'm selling. For now, look at this. These are my levels. For now, look at what's going on now in the 30-minute time frame, which is the time frame that I trade. Okay, so take a look at what's going on now, and what's going on is just the price reacting to that level, right? Creating an order block. This is a consolidation period at the end of this push to the downside, right? So look at that current pin bar, and the previous candle was another pin bar, and the previous candlesticks were a morning star pattern. Can you see that? So from here, I believe we have enough, candlesticks telling us that the price is gonna go up, right? Is it clear for you guys? Right? So from here, I expect the price to go up, and from there, I will be looking for sales. I will be looking for sales. Now, at the end of this candlestick, at the end of these 16 minutes, we're gonna have news. All right, so when the news are given, we gotta be very careful. All right, so that's why I'm not opening a buying position here, even though everything looks super bullish here, and even though I believe that the price is gonna create this push to the upside, I'm not doing anything. All right, because we are in the first week of the month, and there are too many things going on. All right, so I'm only looking for sales if there is such thing as this pullback in rejection of this key level, right? So as soon as I get a rejection of that key level, I'm selling Euro USD. All right, guys, that's the analysis behind the Euro USD. If you have a different chart, send it over and we can take a look at it. All right. Okay, I think I'm gonna put some music. Right? I think it would be good to listen to music. Otherwise, it gets too boring, especially for people who are learning how to trade. In the beginning, this looks like a different language. Okay, so let's listen some. Okay, hope the sound is good enough. I hope the volume is good enough. All right, so let's take a look at AUD USD. I think we can move forward. I think we're done with AUD, sorry, with Euro USD. Now, what is AUD USD telling me? Look at this. So yesterday I called this push to the upside in the price action club, and the idea is not for me to tell you, oh, I called this trade, and I'm actually gonna show it to you guys. This is the price action club. Look at that, right? So I called that push to the upside because that yellow line that you can see there is a daily key level. And then we got different pin bars rejecting that daily key level. So it was clear that the price was going to have a reaction to that level, to the upside, right? So it was kind of, called. That movement was, I mean, we knew that movement was going to happen, right? So I call this push to the upside, these ones, this push to the upside. That's the one that I shared in the price action club yesterday. So that's what we do there. So what we do is we talk about clear signals, or I don't want to say signals, clear setups in our charts. Very clear and clean for us. I mean, as clean as possible for us to know, okay, this is an opportunity in the market, right? I gotta make sure that I take this opportunity, all right? So from here, let's make the analysis. What am I looking for here? I'm looking for sales, obviously, right? Obviously. Is it obvious for you as well? Right? This is the daily key level. This push to the upside was called in the price action club, but then look at this. Can you see this level and how the price, created this noise above it? That noise is just that noise, false breakout, right? Some people could have thought, oh, the price is just gonna keep flying, right? And I'm pretty sure most, open a buying position there. Okay, so I'm sorry for them. When you have a breakout, you gotta make sure that you take a look at a very clear rejection candle of the broken level, right? So if you get, if there is, I don't know, a key level like something like this, and you get a breakout, you gotta make sure that you wait for a rejection of that broken level, right? And then you can join those buyers. That's it. Easy peasy. Okay? Easy peasy. It's a lot easier than what you think. All right? A lot easier of what you think. All right? So, let me take a look here. All right, so let me erase these levels here. Okay, so now what am I looking for? That's the question. What am I doing here? Well, personally, I believe this is very clear, right? Obviously, I'm looking for sells. Why would I be looking for buys, right? So I would be looking for buys only if I wanna, take a pullback here and make some money to the upside. But that's not smart at all. I mean, I sometimes trade counter trend, but only when it is a higher time frame counter trend, and I know that that pullback is definitely going to happen, right? And I know that that pullback represents at least a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio for me, right? Things like that. In this case, I wouldn't trade counter trend. Okay, I wouldn't trade counter trend here. I wouldn't trade counter trend. So in other words, I'm trading in the same direction of the trend. I'm trading in the same direction of the trend. So that means that if the trend is bearish now, I'm just waiting for a selling signal, right? Now this yellow line that you can see there, that's a daily key level. Daily key level. From there, I expect the price to go up, but it's gonna have a reaction, and that's what I'm waiting for. I want to see that reaction before I open a selling position. And if that happens, all right, if that happens, if we get that pullback and then a rejection of that broken level, I would open a position like this, right? Let's take a look at the left. And depending on the market structure on the left, I would be willing to, open a position with a 3 to 1 or a 2 to 1. So normally for AUD USD in this time frame, I usually have from a stop loss from 7 to 10 pips, something like that. So if I can get a 2 to 1 or 3 to 1, that would be wonderful, right? That would be wonderful. I risk only 2% per trade, and if I risk 2% per trade, that represents, a 4% growth of my account with just one trade. 4% or 6% depending on, on the market structure. Let's take a look at that market structure on the left and see if it looks, good enough to open a position. So, I mean, to expect a take profit of 3 to 1. Okay, so let's take a look at the left and see what's going on. Look at what's going on the left, right? So from here, I see a very clear signal. Again, this is the daily key level. So let me move this one down here. And I'm gonna use another one. Look, this is a very important support there. Can you see it? So that's a very important level right there. Okay, so I think that the price is gonna have, look how the price now is reacting to that level, right? So now the pullback, I mean, this could be the beginning of a little pullback, a little correction right there. So this one could be the beginning of a little pullback over there, right? And if a rejection is provided here, that's gonna be, the liquidity grabbing of those sellers to push the price below that level, all the way down to the next support. That's the analysis behind AUD USD. Okay, that's the analysis behind AUD USD. So I'm looking for sales. Now that the price is reacting to this level, I'm waiting for this little pullback and then I'm gonna join those sellers. Okay, if I don't get this pullback, let me show you. If I don't get that pullback, but I get, an immediate breakout to the upside, right? The price respecting these levels in this motion, right? Something like this. If something like that happens, okay, because I have to consider all the possible scenarios, right? And if I'm gonna open a position, it is because I feel confident with what's going on in the charts because I considered already all the possible scenarios and I feel okay with them. So if I feel okay with that, I'm happy, right? I can open a position with no fear. Okay, so if the price breaks above that daily level and, provides a pullback and then a rejection of that daily level, okay, that's my confirmation to go long. All right? All right, so that's the only way that I would be willing to go long in AUD USD. Only if I get this rejection of that daily level, right? Then I would be willing to long AUD USD. All right. So now let's take a look at the daily time frame. Let's make a quick top-down analysis and see how it looks like. So from here looks super bearish, right? Super bearish. Now we have this bearish engulfing candle. Today's candle looks like a bearish engulfing candle. And look at the strength and momentum of that previous. I mean, this was yesterday's candle. So yesterday was what, Wednesday? On Tuesday, look at Tuesday's candlestick, November 2nd. Can you see the strength of that push to the downside? Very strong push, but the price stopped at that daily key level, that yellow line that you can see there. And well, the price went a little higher, but today's candle is engulfing completely yesterday's candle. So it looks super bearish. I believe we can have this breakout to the downside for the price to keep dropping all the way down, all right? Which is awesome. I mean, if we have a good entry, we could make, you know, big profits, really big profits, right? If we join those sellers. Okay, now let's go to the 4-hour time frame and see what's going on there. Okay, so this is the 4 hour time frame, and from here, well, we just gotta wait until we have, clear confirmations. I don't trade this. Okay, something important about this analysis that I'm making is I don't trade this time frame. Okay, I don't do it, and I totally respect those who do it. I mean, it's just that I'm not a swing trader, all right? I'm an intraday trader. So it depends on your style, right? So my style is an intraday style, and I mostly trade the 30-minute time frame, maybe the 1 hour time frame, and occasionally the 2 hour time frame. But that's it. Now with this time frame, I mean, if I don't trade the 4 hour time frame, why am I looking at this chart in this 4 hour time frame? Well, it is because I have to make sure that I know what's going on in the higher time frames because they are telling me exactly what's going on in the market with the biggest market participants, right? So the ones who create these movements in the market, those are the biggest market participants, right? Like big financial institutions like banks, right? Like huge hedge funds, right? So from here, with this top-down analysis, I have a clearer idea of what's going to happen, or at least who is the market participant, winning in the market, either the buyers or the sellers. Look at this push to the downside. It's very strong. So from here, I expect, the sellers, those same sellers, to keep pushing down, to keep pushing down. So in this time frame, I would be looking for kind of something like that, something like this. All right. So this is what I'm waiting for in this time frame, right? A breakout to the downside and then a clear entry to join those sellers. So if I was a 4 hour time frame trader, I would be looking for something like this. All right? I would be looking for something like that. Now that we have made the analysis here, we go to the lower time frame and see, okay, what's going on here? Look, in the 4 hour time frame, the price is respecting that support, right? The price is respecting that support, showing rejection candles. Look at the wicks, right? Those wicks are rejecting the previous support. Can you see that? Okay, so from here, again, I'm looking for um hold me one second. Okay, I'm looking for this breakout to the upside to join those buyers, or a rejection of that daily level to join those sellers, right? So most likely we're gonna have, a huge drop, but we don't know if it's gonna be. Let me one second. Let me just make it very clear. Let's change the color. Okay, I don't know if that push is gonna happen here. If it's gonna happen here, or if it's gonna happen at this level, right? So it can be at this level, or this level. So I don't know if the price needs to reach, this high to come all the way down, or this high or this high. I don't know that. So that's why I have to be very patient until, well, not too much, I just need to wait until I see a clean signal like this candle. Look at the strength of that candle. Like this candle, right? A very clear signal like this bearish engulfing candle. Things like that, right? Like this pin bar, right? A clear selling signal telling me, okay, the price is gonna drop. This is the high, and the price is coming all the way down. So if it happens at this level, I'm selling. If it happens at this level, I'm selling. If it happens here, I'm selling. Okay, that's it. Now, for me to sell would have to look like that, or like that, or like that. Okay, but if we have something different, let me show you. Let me erase this. Okay. So if we get something different, something like this, and then, a new higher low, okay, that means something different. That means that the are gonna create, a bullish momentum before the price drops all the way down, right? So that's why we gotta be always waiting for the confirmation. Always waiting for the confirmation before we open any type of position. All right. Okay, so my bias in AUD USD bearish. Okay, I'm looking for sales. I'm looking for sales here. Look at New Zealand USD. This looks super bullish now. I mean the price action now, the current price action. This candle is almost over and the news are going to be given, which are these news, the unemployment claims. Okay, let's see what's going to happen. Let's see how much liquidity is going to have. Well, it seems not too much. Okay, anyway, so from here, look at this. Look at how the price is respecting that previous support and resistance. Can you see that? Right? Can you see that? I'll show it to you. Look at this. Right? So it was a resistance here, but this resistance is coming from before. I mean, this is a historical level, right? But anyways, it was a resistance here, right? It was a support here and here, and now the price is reacting to it. Look at those two pin bars, right? Can you see those two pin bars respecting that level? So that's definitely creating a reaction. So I would be willing to open a buying position here with a very tight stop loss to have a very tight take profit, right? Because the probability of this push to the upside is so clear. I mean, the probability for us to see this push is so high. I would be willing to open a buying position there only if it has a very tight stop loss and a very tight take profit. All right, something like this. I would be waiting for a retracement there, and let us erase that. Okay, so I would be waiting for this type of retracement. I mean, for the price dropping to activate this buy limit. Whoop. Okay, so this type of pullback with this very tight stop loss to have a very tight take profit, something like that. Okay, a little higher. Okay, so that's what I would be looking for. Why would I be looking for that? Okay, let's make the analysis behind that. What's my reasoning behind it? So first of all, we have to make sure that we draw our horizontal levels like this one, right? Like this one, all right? Like this one. Okay. Now look at the motion of the price. Look at that. Okay. So now that the price is reacting to this level, I know, okay, this one most likely is going to reach this previous horizontal level before it keeps dropping, right? So those sellers, they need to grab liquidity. They are closing their positions. They are cashing out, right? They are taking some profits now, which is going to create this pullback, this correction movement. And from there, I can join those sellers, all right? But for now, I would be looking only for buys, all right? I would only be looking for buys. Does it make sense? The reason why now? Does it make sense? Just look at those rejection candles. I mean, when you have several rejection candles reacting to a very specific horizontal level, dude, you have a trade there. Okay? Now you just have to make sure that you understand, how to set your stop loss, your entry, and your take profit. If you know that, then you have a really good entry. All right? Okay, so that's the reasoning behind this potential entry right here in the New Zealand USD. But let's make the top-down analysis and see, what my bias is in here. So definitely I'm looking for sales. Look, this looks like a high, like a top, right? So look at this. This is a high. We got the breakout, right? And now I just expect the price to keep coming all the way down. So I'm looking for sales. My bias in the New Zealand USD is bearish. Okay, I'm looking for sales in the New Zealand USD. Now let's go to the 4-hour time frame. It looks super bearish as well. The price is, the price has broke below this previous support. I mean, that's the support of the top of that bullish momentum, right? This is the support, and the price has broken below it. Now the price has gone up, but again, it's closing below it, right? So from here, I can expect, something like this, all right? So I'm looking for sales. Again, looking for sales in the 4-hour time frame. Now let's go to the 30-minute time frame or the 1-hour time frame and see what's going on there. So from here, we are just having this little pullback to the upside, this little pullback or beginning of a pullback, right? So let's see if the price in fact goes up from there, right? And if the price, which most likely is gonna happen, is gonna create this pullback, this little motion to the upside, then I would be willing just to go short, right? If I get a very clear selling signal, I would go short in the New Zealand USD. Okay, up here, up there. How much this is? This is a very tight stop loss, right? Which is good. When you open a position, you gotta make sure that you only open positions that they have a very clear stop loss and very clear um, take profit. If you don't know what your stop loss is, dude, how do you know what your risk is gonna be? You know? How do you know what your risk is gonna be? Because the only way for you to calculate your position, I mean appropriately, you need to know first of all what your stop loss is gonna be, how many pips, right? And depending on how many pips you're risking, then you know, okay, so those pips, 6, 8, 10, whatever, 40, 100, whatever. If you're risking, I don't know, 20 pips, right? You have to make sure that those 20 pips represent only a specific fraction of your account. For example, 2% or 1%. That depends on your plan as well. But you have to make sure that you have a clear stop loss. Okay? Later on, we're gonna make a webinar about how to set your stop loss, right? I think that would be very nice, right? Teaching you guys how to set a very clear or specific stop loss. So if my stop loss is whatever, 20 or 30 pips or 50 pips, I have to make sure that that much, I mean, that many pips, they represent a specific percentage of my account. Okay, regardless if they are 50 pips or 5 pips. All right, they must represent only a specific fraction of my account, either 2% or 1% or 1.5, whatever is your plan, right? But you gotta have a very clear stop loss. So now looking for buys in here and then sells. Okay, let's move forward. Whoa, this is a huge movement in GU. What the heck? Well, okay, let's go back in time and I'm gonna tell you what I was waiting for. So when the price was coming all the way down here, okay, so when the price was coming all the way down here, look at that yellow line. That yellow line, it is a daily key level, right? Now look at how the price moved inside this, kind of channel before we got that breakout, retest and pullback. That was a massive entry to join those buyers, massive entry, right? That was a great trading opportunity to join those buyers. Okay. The price came all the way down again and broke below that level. All right, so what I was waiting for was this pullback, rejection of that broken level to join those sellers. Okay, that's what I was waiting for. And it happened, right? It happened. It did happen. The only problem is that it happened with the liquidity of the news, right? And the news are crazy. I mean, when you have the news, when there is so much, happening and going on in the market, you gotta be very careful because that volatility can destroy your account, right? So for example, that price action movement happened, but it didn't happen, in such a way that I could have, trade with it. Okay, so I knew this was gonna happen since yesterday. Well, since Monday, I've been talking about this push to the downside, right? From the daily time frame. Let's talk about that. So from the daily time frame, I've been talking about this push since long ago, guys. Long ago because of this trend, right? Look, look at this trend. So I've been talking about since this high about this push to the downside, right? Now we're halfway there. We're halfway there. Now the price is reacting to this previous support, right? But I've been talking about this push to the downside from this high only because of this descending channel, which is a very clear descending channel, right? So I've been talking about these cells here, and from here, again, looking for cells, but then let's take a look at a uh, at a lower time frame. Now, I didn't know this movement was gonna happen, right? I didn't know this push to the downside was gonna have this type of, liquidity, but that's it. That's it. The price just came all the way down. I didn't make those profits. I mean, I didn't take those sells, right? But anyway, it is what it is. All right, all right, guys. So from here, I'm still waiting for sells, right? Definitely looking for sells. So I would be looking for, a pullback and rejection of either that level or this level. And then I'm gonna join the sellers, right? Something like that. Don't buy GU, sell GU, sell GBP USD, all right? So we are either gonna have this scenario or this scenario, right? Selling from here or selling from there, but make sure that, you trade in the same direction of the trend, in the same direction of the higher time frames, structure and trend, right? Okay, so that's the analysis behind GU. Looking for sales in GU. That's pretty much all that I'm looking for in GU. Okay, guys, do you have any questions? Is it clear for you? Is it clear enough? Let me know in the comments. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you agree with what I'm saying? If not, it's okay. Let me know why, right? Maybe if you don't agree with what I'm saying, it is because you have a clear analysis, or because you have your chart, or you have a different perspective, which is awesome. I mean, I wanna listen and I wanna know about that perspective that you got, and maybe you're correct, right? Maybe I'm wrong. So if I'm wrong, well, I would be happy to see who's right. Okay? So share with us your charts or your analysis, and that's gonna be great. Okay? It would be very great to see your trading ideas. Okay, let's go to the next one. Look at this. Doesn't look like a sell for you guys. Wow, this definitely looks like a buy in here. Definitely looks like a buy. And this one definitely looks like a sell. Okay, definitely looks like a sell. Maybe in the higher time frame there is a clearer signal. Well, not really. Well, this bearish engulfing candle. Actually, yes. Look at that bearish engulfing candle, but the retracement already happened. Oh my goodness, I lost this entry point. Quack. Look at that. Well, the only problem actually with USD CHF. So in my analysis from yesterday, I was talking about how this descending channel, might have come to the end, right? I was talking about how this descending channel might be, just finished. And this push below this horizontal level, let me draw because otherwise it's not gonna make sense. Oh, yesterday I was talking how this movement below that level is just, the end of this descending channel and the beginning of a new movement to the upside, right? Yesterday I was talking about that. So that's the only reason why selling USD now would be kind of risky, all right? It would be kind of risky, all right? Because let me erase this again. Okay, so look at this. This is a very clear bearish engulfing candle, right? Let's just a little bit back in time. Look. So that's a very clear bearish engulfing candle, right? At this trend line. And look how many times the price has respected that trend line. It has respected that trend line multiple, multiple, multiple times, all right? Multiple times, right? And from before it has been respecting that trend line, right? And now we just got a bearish engulfing candle. So that, indicates the best entry for us, right? The best entry to make money to the downside. Okay? So it would be wonderful to join those sellers, but again, selling USD CHF now, it is risky because um, this might be the end of this descending channel and the beginning, of this breakout to the upside. Okay? Yesterday I made the analysis about this, so I won't go, over the same analysis again. If you want to take a look at that analysis, just take a look at yesterday's live stream, right? Okay, so from here, I don't know, guys. I think if it wasn't by that analysis, I would be super willing. I would have been super willing to open, this position with a very tight stop loss, something like this. Yeah, something like that. I think the take profit would be, almost there. Okay, something like that. So if we open a position there right now, we would be risking something about 11 pips, and we should take about 22 pips for this one to be, an optimal trade, right? So I'm just worried about, eating this breakout, especially because of the news of today. So normally the news, they destroy the setups. That's what I hate about the news. They destroy the freaking setups. Because most likely when you have, the news, you also have a very clear setup to trade, right? Like this one. For me, this looks like a sell, definitely looks like a sell, and I would be super willing to short USD CHF. But the news and, what I was talking about, the end of this descending channel, it kind of makes me doubt about that. So this current candle is also a bearish engulfing candle. Can you see that one? So this one was a bearish engulfing candle, but this one, the most current one, is also a bearish engulfing candle. It's completely engulfing the previous one. All right. So that one has 11 more minutes to go. Let's take a look at this one. Okay, I'm gonna open this position to the upside. I'm gonna open this position. I'm calling this trade. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna open that position. So this is a free signal for you guys. Free signal. Now, what news are we gonna be given? This one for the euro and this one for the pound. None of them is supposed to affect that much the New Zealand USD. So anyway, even though we have those news, I'm gonna take that risk and I'm gonna open this position. Free signal for you guys if you wanna open it. Or if you already opened this one. The price was down here when I called this trade. It was coming down, right? So maybe you're already in it. I'm gonna open it. Maybe I'm gonna have another retracement for this trade to get activated. That would be nice. I haven't opened that position. I'm just gonna open it now. Um, and let's see if it gets activated. That would be very nice, right? That would be very nice. Why I don't open it now? Because I would have to open this type of position with this type of stop loss, and then I would be, I would need to get this type of take profit, which is 24 pips take profit, and this is not happening. I mean, the price is not gonna reach this high, right? The price might reach this high before it keeps dropping, right? So that's why my stop loss is very tight, right? I rather to wait for a retracement and I mean pullback for this trade to get activated, and I rather to do that, right? Instead, I mean, if I lose this opportunity, I mean, if this trade doesn't get activated, well, I mean, I'm not losing anything, you know. I will have the same amount of money in my trading account. Maybe I lost that trading opportunity, but I wouldn't lose any money. So instead of, trying to get this, I mean, if I open this position now because of fear of missing out, I'm not doing anything because it's not likely that the price is going to reach this high, right? It's not likely. Actually, that's 22 pips. That would be a 22 pip take profit. So it's not likely that the price is going to reach that high, even though it could get there, but it's not likely. Okay, so this is New Zealand. This one looks super. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Okay, that's great. That's great. I mean, I like this. I like to see this. And I'm telling you guys why. Because of two reasons. First of all, because my analysis is accurate. Second, because even if I'm not in this trade, I will be in the trade up here to short Euro USD because I know that most likely I'm gonna have a selling signal up here, and when that happens, look, I'm gonna send an alert, and everybody in the price action club will get this. Okay, so when the price reaches this high, everybody in the price action club is gonna get an alert, right? Saying, hey, look for sales in Euro USD. So they just have to wait for a candlestick pattern telling them go short and they will make money to the downside. That's how we do it in the price action club. Same here is gonna happen here. Look, this is the scenario that I was talking about, right? For you, the USD just going up. I hope this one gets activated. Otherwise, it's okay. I'm looking for sales up here, right? So if the price or when the price reaches that high, I'm gonna add another alert, right? Right. So everybody in the price action club will know about this, right? Okay, so those are some really good setups, really good setups. This one is super beautiful. I like it. Look at this drop. This is just massive. GU's just dropping all the way down. I'm looking for sales, but those news, look, we're gonna have news um, within 8 minutes here. So those are big news. So GU is looking just massive, like a massive sell. Those who are selling in the daily time frame from up here, all of them are making lots of profits from the analysis that I shared since we are up here, right? Since up here, I've been calling these cells. Okay. Um, okay. So that's pretty much it for GU. USDCHF. Again, this looks like a sell, but I don't know, guys. I don't really know. Let's take a look at the 30-minute time frame. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if there is a retracement here, I would be willing to open this type of position, right? With a tight stop loss. Something like 8 pips to get 16 pips. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't wanna eat this breakout to the upside, cause yeah, I don't feel so happy about that. Okay, GJ, what the heck, GJ? Cut up. Okay, so I don't like when the price moves. without me, I mean, without at least letting me making the analysis. I'm not talking about, I'm not talking about opening the position, but at least um, making my analysis, right? So look at GJ, massive movement to the downside. So I believe the price is going to have a reaction to the next levels. Let me draw my levels in here. That's going to help me, understand what could happen in the market. And if it happens as how I expect to happen, well, I trade, right? I trade. Okay, so those are key levels. This is quite another key level right here. Important resistance that became a support. Okay, so from there I go to what's going on now. Look, can you see how the price is reacting to that level that I just draw? So that's when that happens, you know that you're drawing your key levels appropriately, right? So if you draw a key level and then afterwards the price reacts to that level, you know, okay, so yeah, that level was drawn appropriately. Okay, so from here I see how the price is reacting to this level. I don't know how strong this liquidity is gonna be. I mean, I don't know how much this movement to the downside is gonna happen, right? I don't know if this one is gonna drop all the way down until it reaches this low, or if it's, let me use my arrows. I don't know if it's gonna, break to this low before it goes up, or this low before it goes up, or this low before it goes up. All right. So I don't know that. What I know that is that it's dropping and that it's gonna have a pullback sometime soon. And depending on when that happens and where that happens, I'm gonna be willing to join those sellers, right? So something like this, either something like this, or something like this, or something, like that. I don't know. I just have to wait until there are confirmations. In other words, in other words, don't do anything in GJ now. Okay? Don't do anything in GJ now. You don't know if it's gonna keep dropping or if it's gonna create a pullback now, and if after the pullback is gonna keep dropping or if it's just gonna fly to the upside. You don't know, especially because of the news that are gonna be given. So don't do anything in GJ. I know that most YouTube traders love trading GJ. This is not the case. I mean, personally, I just trade all of these pairs. I don't have any preference. There are some pairs that I like more, like USD I do like trading USD and I think I like Euro USD a lot. But I trade all of them. Okay, so this one in GJ, don't do anything. And gold, what's going on with gold? Look at this thing. Beautiful. Can you see that? Beautiful. Just going up without us, without any entry signal. I mean, that push to the upside was not called. I wouldn't have opened that position to the upside. Um, but from here, I don't see anything tradable. I can make the whole analysis, the whole price action analysis here in gold, but actually there is nothing that's good enough for us to make money now. If you want to make money now or this morning or today with gold, I don't think that's the case. I don't think we're gonna have, that opportunity because of the news and because this push to the upside um, might be, reaching its end when it touches that yellow line, which is a daily level. I think that the price is gonna react. Maybe it's gonna have a little drop. So from there, we might have, a good opportunity to buy, right? Something like this, right? But again, I'm not looking for any position in gold today. Not looking for anything in gold today. The only very clear signals are this one, this short in USD which is risky, right? This buy in here in the New Zealand USD, I think my buys are down here. So I don't believe I mean it's not too likely. Let me see here. So it's not very likely, actually it's down here. So it's not likely that this trade is gonna get activated. But still that's how my trade looks like. And let me see here. So that's 16 pips. Um, yeah, maybe something like that. I mean, I only trade if I'm getting double of what I'm risking, right? If it gets activated, awesome. If it doesn't get activated, which I think will be the case, will be awesome as well. But again, this is the trade that I'm calling today. This buying opportunity there, right? And I believe that the price is gonna react to this level to sell the New Zealand USD. Okay, so that's pretty much it, guys. I don't know if you have any questions. Does it make sense what I've been talking about today? Euro USD, this push to the upside was called as well. The same thing as as the reaction to that horizontal level coming to the downside, right? That was called as well. Um, yep. You guys let me know if you have any questions. Nothing. All right. So have a good one, guys. I think that's pretty much it. If you want to take a look at a very specific analysis of these pairs, just go back in the live stream. We have, covered the analysis for all of these pairs. All right. Take care and talk to you tomorrow. And be careful with the news, guys. Be careful with the freaking news. Bye bye.